Do you keep saying yes when your body keeps screaming no? Do you start your morning scrolling and already feel behind? Do you compare yourself to other moms and feel like you'll never be as good as them? Oh, yeah, I have been there, and that drains our mental health more than we know. So, let's talk about the things that I stopped doing to finally get my mental energy back. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cherry. I'm a stay at home mom of three living in Hawaii. And this is part of my Mom Mindset Reset series where I'm talking about the messy, real life things that happen through motherhood and all of the systems that we're building to try to protect our peace. If you missed last week's video, I shared how routines can help calm you when your life feels a little bit too heavy. So definitely check that out if you need a slower start to your day. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever you want to drink, and let's get to the video. Boundaries, 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 right? Everybody has them, but then sometimes us moms go against them. And in my case, I go against them a lot, but not anymore. I used to say yes to every freaking request that I would get. But the thing with that is, even when I was so drained or burnt out, I would still say yes. So, like, I would say yes to attending a party or an event, even though my energy was like down to level -0. Is that even a thing? Or I would let people stop by, even though I didn't have mental space for it, or them in this case. And then what happens when I push past my boundaries? I would feel resentful, exhausted, and then the sad truth is I would feel less present with my kids. And I only learned this recently, and maybe recently meaning like this year, that boundaries are not walls, they're like filters. They're a way of protecting my energy so that I can use it on things that matter most, like showing up for myself and my children and actually enjoying the party or the event that I have to go to without feeling like I was forcing myself to go, even though I wasn't mentally all there. I set boundaries for myself, especially when it comes to my mental energy. And if my mind and my body is so drained out, I don't have to feel obligated to do something if I just can't right now. Oh, the famous doom scrolling. Now, this one is pretty hard for a lot of us, I'm sure, because I am guilty of this. I have been grabbing my phone to scroll on TikTok, scroll on Instagram, scroll on YouTube forever. But scrolling only led me to compare myself to others, to constantly consume, 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 and never take action. And then I would feel behind on things that I needed to do or that were important to me because what did I do for the last half an hour or an hour? I scrolled my life away. Once I stopped scrolling right in the morning, it changed everything. Because don't get me wrong, I still scroll, but I don't do it right in the morning. So instead of scrolling in the morning, what I do is I get a drink of water and I start to plan or I start to brain dump. And then I would continue on doing the rest of my reset routine or my morning anchor routine. If you want to see a detailed version of that anchor routine or that reset routine, you can check it out. I linked it below. And since I stopped scrolling, I just feel less reactive throughout the day because I didn't waste the precious time before the kids wake up doing something that doesn't really add any value into my day, into my routine. Because even though scrolling gives you like a short amount of dopamine and you get some kind of satisfaction through scrolling, if you're trying to become that girl, that mom, scrolling is just not the way to go in the morning. Comparison is a thief of joy. Have you heard that before? Social media gives you easy access to seeing what life is like for other people, and then you get so caught up in what they're doing and not focusing enough on what you're doing. And then you compare yourself to what they're doing to what you're doing, and then the pattern continues. We as moms get so stuck in that comparison because I would look at someone's like nice aesthetic looking house that's clean with no toys, and then here I am literally like sitting next to hundreds of toys, and if you cannot see it right now because I'm hiding it, but in the front of me there's like a whole bunch of clutter. But even though I didn't get to see that person's like behind the scenes life, whatever they're showing is it has an effect on me, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. There's no good in comparing myself to how other people live their life, and we need to stop that. So one of the things that I had to do was I had to unfollow the accounts that would basically fuel that insecurity of mine, because it's like that saying where their pace isn't my timeline. So that's going to be my new mantra for the rest of the year, and hopefully I can carry that on throughout my whole entire motherhood. If you were ever called controlling, you were probably a perfectionist in some kind of way. And that hits home hard for me because I feel like I am controlling in that way where I want everything to just turn out as perfect as can be. I used to think that laundry had to be folded nicely and put away immediately as soon as it was folded. But then if I didn't get that done, then I would feel like a failure. I didn't realize that the mental energy of thinking about all of that is just draining my battery, because in reality, mental energy is like a battery. And every one of those moments where I have to be perfect, or I feel like I have to be perfect, is like unnecessary, and it just drains me even more than it needs to. So now if the laundry is done, it's done and it's a win. Or if the laundry is done and I folded it and it's in the basket here right on the ottoman, then it's done and that's a win. I'm learning that my mental space in here is more for joy and happiness and less about control. And so I stopped reaching for perfection and I just did what I could with what energy I had. And if you're anything like me, that is enough. I don't have it all figured out, but I do know this, that the little things that we don't do matter as much as the things we actually do. And if you needed to hear this today, protecting your peace isn't selfish. So if you're ready to start to get some of your mental energy back, let's start together. What is one habit or pressure that you're ready to drop this month? Leave it in the comments so that I can read it and we can cheer each other on. If you're trying to build a system in your motherhood where you can feel less overwhelmed and more supported, then continue to follow me on this journey of my Mom Mindset Reset series here on my channel. So from one trying mom to another, you are doing a great job.